Being a parent is one of the best and most difficult jobs on the planet, but it can be made easier with a supportive community.
We talk with some moms who are based in Minot about the hidden gems they have found while living in the 701.
I think a hidden gem with Minot is, or even in North Dakota in general, is people are kind. I think I'm saying that's a hidden gem because, with the internet and all of the technological devices, we tend to come across a lot of unkind things in this world. And to be in a community where kindness leads a lot of our decisions and community gatherings and events, I believe that is really a gem here. And you hear people say, North Dakota kind, and it truly is a thing. It's funny because I was just talking to a friend that's stationed in Charlotte, and I was on my Bluetooth in my vehicle, and we had both pulled up to a four-way at the same time yesterday, and literally it took us 10 minutes to go because we kept wanting to let the other person go.
Go ahead.
And go. And so the North Dakota kind is definitely a gem here. We tend to watch out for each other, even when you don't know someone. And it's funny because moving to Germany and back, the culture is about the same there, but Germans, that culture really doesn't believe in small talk. But if you get into an elevator with a North Dakotan or anyone who lives here, you will know what they're having for dinner and supper and their sister's name by the end of the elevator ride. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a hidden gem.
Charlotte, how about for you? What would you consider a hidden gem of living in Minot, North Dakota?
I don't know if it's necessarily hidden, but I do have to agree. It's definitely the people. I've said it before. People don't come here just because of the weather. It's, certainly not a thing. My dad was military and that's how we got here. And they decided to retire here. Minot is small enough that it has a small town feel, but big enough that you don't have to be in everybody's business if you don't want to be, So, and then it's the people, it's, their kindness, the way that you can really find your community and get rooted in a good community here if you, look for it and seek it out.
I would say, obviously the people here are great. We love it. We have found a great life here in North Dakota. But something that is maybe more of a hidden gem just about the lifestyle here in general that I tell people, it's for us, this is a very affordable place. And I'll explain that because, housing costs may be kind of high and food costs may be kind of high if we look at the cost of living here. But as a military family, we have lived in many states. We've lived in many communities. And what we find in Minot is that the things that we want to do are incredibly accessible to us, and they are incredibly cost friendly. Like in the course of one day, we could visit parks, we could go to a sporting event, and we could go to a theater or music production. We take advantage of things all the time, like the free brass band concerts that not a lot of people know about. We go to theater productions, we go to summer theater in the summer from MSU. We take advantage of the city chamber chorale. These are things that we can't do in other places where maybe there was more to do. We were not going to the theater. We were not going to the symphony. We were not going to productions. We were not going to sporting events nearly as often because the commute was so much farther and the cost was so much more. Where here we can have memberships to the zoo and the Discovery Center. We can go ice skating. We can go to parks. We can take a kayaking lesson. The Parks Department has archery classes starting in September. It's like $20 for a course. Like what? Like you can learn anything here and it's so doable.
And this has been Parent Panel. If there are topics you'd like to hear us discuss, please send us an email at studio701@kxnet.com. All three of those women are so incredible, and I love hearing them talk about what they love about the 701. I mean, it's so fun to hear that from other people. As someone who's born and raised here, and obviously I said the unpaid spokesperson for North Dakota tourism, because I'm always telling people they need to come here.
Yeah.
But Jeff, like you've said many times, this is where you choose to live, which is a
Absolutely.
huge testament to the state.
Yeah, and I choose to live here, and like she said, her hidden gem, which I don't think is very hidden at all, is the kindness of the people. You know, I grew up in Southern California, the best weather in the world.
Yeah.
I didn't come here, I didn't stay here, I should say, for the weather. I stayed for the people. And that's because the people are kind and wonderful, and I consider myself a North Dakotan now. And so, yeah, it's wonderful to hear that they feel the same way about our great state.
I absolutely love it, and the fact that Amy and her husband asked to be reassigned back in Minot, I think says a lot. And she has an incredible Instagram page called Hey Minot, where she lets everyone know what's going on around town, around the Magic City. So make sure you check that out on Instagram. We will be talking with the parent panel next week about some of the challenges. You mentioned the weather there. There are a few challenges that go along with some of what we love about living here, and we will be talking about that next week. So make sure you stay tuned for that.